Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and today we're going to be talking about some world PvP changes going on in World of Warcraft. Now, they've kind of kept what they've been doing and the idea that they've been putting some of these in secret until recently. We're talking a couple hours ago they came out with what they're actually doing, because up until then they've just basically been telling us that it's just background stuff, it's nothing big. Well, all of a sudden they released these patch notes, and there's going to be some huge differences in world PvP, so let's talk about this. To start off this video, I'm going to read a little post from the admins on why they're doing this and what their intentions are for this patch. And here it is. Our intent with these changes is to reduce the amount of initial burst damage dealt by players in world PvP, especially when using certain legendary items or trinkets, giving the player being attacked more opportunity to react, while we want to maintain the anything goes nature of world PvP and Legion. We do want to have at least some chance of retaliation, even when caught by surprise. That is actually a breath of fresh air in my personal opinion, seeing them step back from the more bursty situations and giving us a little more PvP action instead of 1 to 3 second duels generally between burst classes. So let's go ahead and start talking about some of these things that they're doing, and here's kind of the main thing, the kind of huge chunk that has me really excited for what's going on in this hot patch, is the fact that non-tank specializations now take 40% less damage from enemy players while engaged in world PvP. This sounds absolutely amazing, because as we know, tanks of any sort kind of destroy the world PvP world. I'm not saying destroying it, wrecking it like it doesn't happen, but I'm saying wrecking it like you run into a blood DK, he blows cooldowns, you blow cooldowns, you blow up in 3 seconds, blood DK is like, I'm not even hurt. So you add in an extra 40% damage reduction to DPS classes, and I feel like it's going to add a more equal playing field when it comes to tank versus DPS. Now, the only thing that has me slightly worried about this is the fact if healers are included in taking 40% less damage in world PvP, they are going to be absolutely untouchable, and I believe that was one of the reasons they got rid of this idea to begin with. So I'm hoping they found a way to actually incorporate healers into that somehow and balance them out too, because at the moment you get a really good healer that's just almost unkillable. You add in an extra 40% less damage taken with his survivability, he's going to be really strong. And that also comes with a couple other things that I'm worried about with the 40% damage reduction, as if things like rep paladins and enhancement shamans, with the large amount of healing that they obtain, if they are going to be too strong with this, or they're going to be kind of right, because a lot more classes are going to be more devoted towards bursting. But then again, it's going to be kind of hard to tell. I really feel like things that have off heals are going to benefit this obviously more from things like a Frost DK that has complete burst up front and very little heal in between. And I don't know if a 40% damage reduction will make enough difference that Death Strike will actually matter in world PvP, but we'll have to see. Now, as for testing this out, guys, I went on the PTR, and at the moment it is not updated. I did end up running into some viewers out there, and we did a bunch of dueling. It was fun. We had a good time. Talked about a few things, but let's go ahead and get into some of these actual reductions for these legendaries. And I got a couple of them on me, so we can do a little math here and roughly figure out exactly what's going to go on with these, because Frost DK legendaries are affected, as a lot of classes legendaries are going to be affected with this kind of world PvP change. First off, we got Drought of Souls, which, as we know, has been nerfed recently. Not really recently, but has been nerfed in the past because it was way too strong when it came to dueling, especially with a Fury Warrior. You'd charge into somebody, stun them, Drought of Souls, end of fight. Just end of duel right there. Just absolutely obliterate somebody. But they are seemingly going to nerf it again. Drought of Souls now deals 70% less damage to enemy players. Now, we can walk up to this, hit it a couple times. I don't believe Drought of Souls scales with any strength or AP, so we'll go ahead and proc this off. I could be wrong, correct me if I am, but we're just going to go ahead and use that. I mean, it's not amazing damage after that nice little nerf, but it did a lot of damage in world PvP, as I do believe it's stacked with some kind of warrior buff. But as you can see, NFL Crazed Rage. I did about 2.8 mil damage. This is a 905 heroic, which is a fairly good amount of chunk. I mean, that's about 50% of somebody's health, especially if you have something else damaging them during that. It can be definitely overpowered, but they're nerfing that again down by another 70% less damage to enemy players in World PvP combat. Do I feel like this is good or bad? I feel like it's pretty good. This trinket was a bit too strong when it came to World PvP, definitely, and with the 40% less damage taken by enemy players, it'll definitely even this trinket out to be on a more balanced playing field with other trinkets. Next thing we got up, it deals specifically with Frost DKs, and this will make a lot of other classes happy. I mean, not necessarily great for Frost DKs, but I feel like overall the sacrifice is worth what we're benefiting for. Trying to get our World PvP and duels back, stepping in the right direction. I think it's definitely worth losing the ability to basically two-shot someone in World PvP using Cold Heart and the Bracers. Hits for an absolutely ridiculous amount. That's being nerfed down by 75%. And trust me, it needs a 75% nerf. It is way too powerful with the bracers. You literally don't even have enough time to DPS somebody. If they don't have a bubble or something or a way to nullify the magic damage, it's like basically a kill. The next item being nerfed down is going to apply to basically every class, and that's going to be Kill Jaden's Burning Wish, since that, combined with a lot of other bursts and a lot of other classes' bursts, can basically accumulate to close to being a one-shot, add in the extra 40% again, and we're looking at a pretty hefty nerf towards this trinket, and eliminating a lot of those one-shot macros and one-shot items is seemingly what they're doing. Real quick, I'm going to go over some of the other class changes because there are other classes like Rogue, Paladins, and a few others that have extremely OP legendaries in World PvP, so we'll touch on a few of those. We've got Insignia of Ravenhold, now deals 50% less damage to other players. We got Pillars of Inmost Light, now increases Eye of Tyre damage by 150% when attacking players. It was 300%, so that's about 50% less. It's pretty crazy, 150% if you want to get specific. Anyways, Scarlet Inquisitor's Expurgation. Try not to destroy these words as we go, but we probably will. Now increases see, there we go. Now increases Divine Storm damage by 3% per stack while attacking players. Was 6% per stack, so that's another 50% nerf to that ability altogether. And we also got Dreadlord's Deceit, which increases damage of Shuriken Storm, which is rogues. You won't be seeing as many rogue one-shots popping out, noting people per stack when attacking players. It was 25% per stack. That is a huge nerf to that legendary, and also adding in that extra 40% is taking that down a notch. So we're not going to see as many rogues popping out and just one-shotting people and then disappearing even before they come out of stealth completely. So that's good to see. We also got Fiery Red Maimers, now increase maim damage by, it was 500%, but it's now 165% when attacking players. Definitely nerfed down, so Feral Druids are not going to do nearly as much damage. That's going to sum up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little update. I found this news to be kind of invigorating, kind of exciting to hear. I'm hoping it's going to end up to be really good for World PvP, because having some duels last a little longer, and even if I lose them because we don't have as much survivability, I'm not going to be nearly as sad as, dueling somebody for 2 seconds and globaling them. Personally, I'd rather lose and try to figure out a way to win than just go out and win in 2 seconds and call it a day, because that's really not a satisfying version of PvP, in my opinion. I know a lot of other people have been up against this too, so let me know down in the comments below if you're happy to hear these changes, if you're kind of weary about it, if you're concerned about some of the things I am, or if you have some of your own ideas that you're concerned about. Let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like. Until next time, this was your boy Hazzed.